What's up? Hey, today I'm taking you through a full body dumbbell only workout to get you feeling like an athlete, which on that note, make sure you stick around till the end of this video because we have some very exciting things to talk about. But this past year, my training style has completely changed. If you are new to my channel, I started my fitness journey in the gym. I competed in bodybuilding for a few years, and even after that, I'd say that my training style was heavily influenced by bodybuilding. Basically, if I wasn't training to get lean or lift heavy, what are you even doing? Until this past year, for obvious reasons, my training style completely changed. I switched to home workouts. I realized there was more to fitness than just lifting heavy or being in endless cycles of bulking and cutting, and I feel great. So today I figured I would throw it back to one of my older video styles where I kind of walk you through my workout. I explain why we're doing which exercises. We nerd out over exercise form. We just have a good time working out together, you and me. One of the big shifts I made this past year was instead of training for appearance, I fully shifted to training for performance, which I'd like to say I made this shift years ago. In all honesty, I didn't, and I really realized that this past year. But this year I went all in. I said, you know what? I'm gonna accept whatever changes come to my body. You know, my appearance might change in response to these training changes, but I'm okay with that. If that means that I have better mental health, if that means that I get my enjoyment of fitness back and not always obsessing over, am I gonna lose muscle? Am I gonna gain muscle? I want to enjoy fitness. I want to enjoy living and moving in my body. And this change has been so positive for me. I feel like that feeling of excitement with my workouts is when I first step foot in the gym. I'm learning so many new things. I'm experiencing so many new things. I look forward to every opportunity to move my body. So right now, most of my performance goals are based around running because I also rediscovered my love of running this past year. But just because this workout is kind of tailored to running doesn't mean that you can't take the same principles, apply it to your sport, your active hobby, or if you just want to switch up your training style in general. I rotate the emphasis of my workouts throughout the week. So today I'm going to be taking you through a more power-focused workout. I feel like power is a buzzword in the fitness and athletic space, but essentially what it describes is the relationship between force, displacement, or range of motion in the case of an exercise, and time. Power equals force times displacement over time. So you can increase your power by increasing your strength or ability to produce force, improving your mobility or control through a range of motion, moving faster, or decreasing the time it takes to complete that range of motion. The easiest way to think about it is that strength is the ability to move an object, while power is the ability to move an object quickly. So power brings in that variable of speed. And as someone who came from a weightlifting background, you know, I'd say I was a pretty advanced weightlifter. I got pretty strong on the key lifts. Power training is a whole different ballgame, all right? It is a completely different exercise, doing 400 pounds on the hip thrust at whatever speed you need to get that bar up versus doing 400 pounds on the hip thrust explosively with intent, with speed, with control, like completely different level of difficulty. And as I've learned with running and pretty much any other sport that involves an element of speed, power is gonna help you perform so much more efficiently. So the way today's workout will help you build your power is by supersetting strength with plyometric exercises in a full body format. Superset means doing 2 exercises back to back. Our strength exercises will focus on using a heavier, more challenging weight. You can only manage for like 1 to 5 reps. I will be staying toward the 5 rep end of that range since I don't have access to super heavy weights at home. And then the plyometric exercises will be using body weight or very light weights, but focusing on moving explosively, reactively, going through a quick eccentric or lengthening of the muscle, and then immediately, as quick as your body can handle, reversing that range of motion into a quick concentric or shortening of the muscle. That's all I think you need to know for now. If you're excited for today's video, if you are excited for me to bring back this format of going through the workout together, shoot me a thumbs up, leave me a little comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and let's get into it. First up, we've got the skater squat for 5 reps per side. This burns your quads, hams, glutes. It's great for hip and knee stability. It's really just a fantastic exercise for your entire lower body. But the way this works is it's essentially a half hinge, half squat. You initiate the exercise by reaching back with the hips, using your non-working leg to help emphasize that reach. As you lower, bending the knee until your back leg is just skimming the ground. It's kind of like doing your reverse lunge, except instead of using that back foot to help control the lower, we're hinging our upper body forward to act as kind of a counterbalance to the leg that's reaching behind us. The reason I do this over doing, say, a squat and hinge separately in my workout is because A, single leg exercises are great for building hip and knee stability, which if you are a runner, that's key to staying injury-free and moving more efficiently. And 2, I work out at home. I don't have access to like plates, barbells, and weights and like just an endless supply of things to apply the progressive overload needed to get stronger. And so instead of progressing the weight to progress the exercise difficulty, I select more challenging versions of exercises so that I can keep building strength with less weight. I have a whole video explaining how I select my exercises, how I kind of switch my routine from the gym to home that I can link up here or down below if you want to check that out. Next up, we're going right into a plyo hinge for 8 to 10 reps. The easiest way to think about this exercise is like a Romanian deadlift, but if your legs were rocket launchers. I set up from the bottom position, sitting my hips back as far as they'll go, core tight, back flat, and visualizing the stretch in my glutes and hamstrings like a spring that's been stretched. If you're not quite ready for that exercise, you can easily modify it by removing the jump, instead just coming up onto your toes, putting like a little calf raise on the end of the exercise. The key is that once we initiate the movement, we are keeping it quick, we are keeping it continuous, we are alternating between loading the spring on the lower down, rapidly reversing to explode up and release all that energy on the way up. Now is not the time to go heavy. Now is not the time to try to apply progressive overload by like upping your weight each time. The way that you can progress this exercise is by getting quicker on that exchange between the load and the spring. By training that stretch shortening cycle, this is gonna help you move faster, have better control over moving quickly. For runners especially, this is gonna help with your foot speed, your cadence, your turnover, making it easier to run quicker. Next superset, starting with the standing overhead press for 5 reps, one side at a time. As much as I like being creative, we don't need to reinvent the wheel on every exercise. I love standing overhead press variations because not only do they strengthen your shoulders, but they also help build that functional core strength that's required to maintain that tall, efficient running posture that we want. I do this exercise one side at a time. You don't have to. I just like it because it feels like it does a little bit more for my core, as well as when I'm pushing a heavy weight overhead. Like, the more I can focus on my form, the better. And when I do it one side at a time, I just feel like it helps me really zero in on that. We had to refilm this a few times. My shoulders were getting tired, but in an ideal world, your ribs and hips would not be shifting around a lot. It would just be smooth sailing all the way up. Next up, we have one of my favorite feel-good exercises, the Plyo Bear to down dog tap for 8 to 10 reps total, not per side. This exercise may look a little wacky, but when I first got into plyometric training, I struggled to find upper body plyos that didn't require external equipment like a medicine ball or battle ropes. So this was one of the moves I came up with. The way it works is we start in a bear plank, let the shoulder blades retract, then pop your hands into the ground as you lift your hips, driving one arm forward and the other back toward your opposite shin. This exercise, while it definitely lights up your shoulders and all the little muscles in and around there, it's just insane for your total upper body. If you're not quite ready to do that little pop, you can just remove that from the exercise. Instead, just focus on moving explosively from the bear plank to the opposite hand to opposite shin reach, and you can work up to the pop over time. Next and final superset, starting with the sprinter chest press for 5 reps per side. If you're trying to figure out what's going on here, we've essentially combined a single leg hip thrust with a chest press and a little bit of arm movement. Now, I know combination exercises are not a favorite in the strength training place. This is because in general, as compared to doing 2 exercises separately on their own in your workout, combination exercises tend not to be as effective for building strength. That said, as with many things, there can be a time and a place where this makes sense, namely when the load of one exercise is not limited by a weakness on the other, aka you should feel challenged by a similar weight on both exercises if you were to do them separately. And 2, the movements should fit together. They should not require a serious amount of coordination or thinking on like remembering how the movement works. They've got to flow together. In the case of this exercise, this is a great combination for power, stabilization, and anti-rotation through the core. As compared to your standard bench or chest press, this transfers much better to running. Of course, I am sure that you could move more weight doing a barbell bench press, but that exercise is not particularly relevant to my goals. While it might be cool to say like, oh, I can bench press whatever weight, right? Why would I waste my energy on maxing out on a bench press when I could better spend that energy on bringing the intensity to my running or on doing a movement with better transfer to bringing the intensity to my running? Next up, we have a push-up variation I have been absolutely obsessed with. We're doing the Plyo Bear to drop push-up for 8 to 10 reps as quick as you can. I'll be honest, I don't think this exercise has a ton of transfer or relevance to running, but I really just enjoy doing it. I feel so good in my body when I do this exercise. I struggled with push-ups for the longest time, and full transparency, as someone who saw myself as fit, when I struggled through push-ups, it went against this belief, and that was uncomfortable for me. So I avoided doing them. But a big part of, or a big theme of my training this past year has been accountability, holding myself accountable, setting higher standards for myself, bringing up my weak points. One of the big things I worked on were my push-ups, because they are one of my least favorite things to do, and improving at them has been so empowering. I can now do full push-ups, no knee push-ups, for reps, and I'm attempting variations like these, and it's crazy. I watch this footage back and I'm like, oh my gosh, how is she doing that? And then I realized, I'm like, that's you doing that. So what we have going on here is starting in a bear plank, letting the shoulder blades retract, pop your hands out while pushing down through your toes. As soon as you hit the ground, reverse the motion as quickly as possible by exploding back to your starting position, then repeat. That is it for today's video. I will put all of the exercises, reps, sets, rest periods, all that jazz in the description box down below. But generally, I would do each of these supersets, rest in between them, then repeat the entire workout 2 to 3 times. Short, sweet, to the point, full body. That's why I love it. It's all about efficiency. But as promised, I do have an announcement for you. I'm a Women's Best athlete. Hopefully you can see the logo. Oh my gosh. If you're not familiar, Women's Best is a supplement and clothing company. I will link their socials down below, as well as my link to their website. But I am really excited for this opportunity. I feel like I keep harping on this, but the past year truly has been transformative for me. I mean, we started off with some real low of lows at the start of the year, really going through it. But like I was saying during our workout, a big theme for me this past year has been accountability, personal responsibility, not just having this vision of the life I want and being this would be nice to have, but actually showing up. Even if I don't know how to show up, just showing up for myself, for my goals, for the quality of life I want to work toward. And a big part of this has meant saying yes to bigger opportunities. I have been in touch with Women's Best quietly behind the scenes for the past year, testing their products, going back and forth on kind of where they stand as a brand, what their vision is, what their goals are, what we hope to achieve together. And the longer I spend after this decision of saying yes, the better I feel about it. I just feel really encouraged, really positive about the way they conduct themselves as a brand, their values, the fact that they value women of all shapes, sizes, ages, really important in fitness, as well as approaches and stages of fitness journey. I'm very excited about this opportunity. Before I get all sappy, I figured we would kick things off with a clothing haul of some pieces that should be launching today as of when this video is posted. This is actually one of the pieces that is launching, and I'm just obsessed with this color. It makes me so happy the moment I put it on. I will include info on all the pieces, what sizes I wear, a link to shop it, as well as a discount code that you can use to support me, but also save some money off your order in the description box down below. Anyways, though, let's get into the haul. Today we've got 2 new sets launching as part of the Renew Seamless collection. So the Renew Seamless collection has been available on the Women's Best site. It's not new, but these are new colors that, as you can tell, especially if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I'm just I've been abusing this yellow. I've really been waiting for this day, preparing for the day that I get to share it with you. So let's start by talking about the yellow color. The 2 colors that are launching are this called Dry Yellow, and then we also have the Pacific Blue that we will talk about in a sec. So the reason that I really like this yellow is because I have struggled to find a yellow that does not completely lose its color and wash out in the sun, but also something that's not like the full-on turmeric yellow. I love that darker turmeric yellow too, but I wanted to show you for comparison. This sports bra is not Women's Best, but I would say is a true turmeric yellow color, kind of golden yellow, very, very vibrant, bit darker, kind of trending toward a more burnt orange yellow, whereas the yellow that we've got here in the dried yellow as part of the new Women's Best collection almost feels like a pastel, but it's not as light as a pastel. It's gonna get washed out in the light. You guys can't see it, but behind my camera right now, we have very bright lights. So this is not getting washed out. This still has color. You can still see it's got pigment. It's not going completely white in the light, which I really like, as I think it makes it more flattering on a variety of skin tones, especially if you are very, very pale like me and you wanna wear the cute pastels, but they make you look like a ghost. These will not make you look like a ghost. It still looks cute. As for the Pacific Blue, I would say that this is more of a muted blue. It's not an in-your-face really bright blue. It's not a navy. It's kind of like blue jean blue. I'm actually pretty sure that I do have jeans in this color. So if you're trying to visualize what this would look like in person, probably close to a pair of blue jeans you have. As part of this collection, there are 3 pieces launching in each color. So we've got a sports bra, we've got the quarter zip that I'm wearing here, as well as a pair of seamless leggings. Starting with the sports bras are a passion of mine, mainly because it's hard to find good sports bras that don't chafe, that don't overexpose you, but also like don't completely cover you up to the point of being unflattering. I would say that this is a medium support bra because it's got some compression through the sides. You can hopefully see the panels through here. This is higher coverage in the front. You're not going to be seeing cleavage on me. This falls just below collarbone height because this is a medium support bra. What I do when I want to wear this set running is I just swap this bra out for the navy bra from the Women's Best Hold collection, which I'm not really showing it right to you right now. I'll put a video on screen of me wearing it. But basically, the Hold collection launched, I think, about a month ago now, and it was Women's Best first collection that included a high support sports bra, which I was just all over immediately. I've been wearing these bras exclusively for my runs ever since they launched it. Unfortunately, there was not a dried yellow bra released as part of the Hold collection. I would really like, maybe I will talk to them about that. But if you do have bigger boobs and you like the Pacific Blue set, I would highly recommend getting the Hold bra in navy to go with it. Next up, we've got our leggings. So these leggings have got compression panels with shaping details. What does that mean? So we have 3 compression panels on the waistband, outer thigh, and inner thigh. I'm normally a size small. I have consistently been a size small in all of the other Women's Best stuff I've worn, but for whatever reason, these felt snugger on me, particularly through that crotch area. The waist was fine, the lower leg was fine. Honestly, even the lower thigh was fine, but maybe I just store a little extra in my upper thighs. I'm a little thicker through the top. So if that's you, you might want to consider going a size up, especially if you don't like a super compressive fit. I probably could have gone a medium in these. And finally, we've got the shirt I've been wearing throughout this video. I don't know if this is what it's like to shave your arms. I've never shaved my arms before, but when I am wearing a long sleeve shirt that fits like this, I am smooth, I am free, I am fast, nothing is touching me. Similar to the leggings, this long sleeve top has compression panels and detailing. I'd say this fits much truer to size. I normally wear a size small. I am comfortably wearing a size small with room to give. By the time this video is up, this launch should be live. These items should be available on the Women's Best site. So I will put a link in the description box down below to shop the launch. You can use that link if you want to support me, you know. Do it if you want, I would appreciate it, as well as a discount code to save you 20% off the launch, as well as any existing promos on the site. So what's kind of crazy about this, I know promos vary by country, but for at least Canada and the US, the Hold sports bra is currently 20% off on the site. Add my code, that's an extra 20% off, so like 40% off. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I appreciate if you are here, if you made it all the way through. Definitely let me know what you think of me bringing back, trying out this video style again, where we go through the workout together, we talk about exercise form, why we're doing different exercises, all of that. I used to do this format more often. I think it's kind of fun. It's a little bit more casual than like our super science heavy videos. So let me know down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.